The Mate 30 series is soon to be released in September, and it looks to be a stellar lineup of phones. But we've just had what looks to be the worst possible news for the Mate 30 series. According to a raft of articles and originating from Reuters, the new series of ultimate flagship phones from Huawei will not come with Google services. So this on the surface is an absolute huge blow for Huawei. This is going to leave people outside of mainland China essentially unable to buy the phones. If Google services are blocked and you can't use Google on the phone, it's going to be really difficult to justify buying them. So according to the article, a Google spokesman told Reuters, the Mate 30 cannot be sold with licensed Google apps and services due to the US ban on sales to Huawei. A temporary reprieve that the US government announced last week does not apply to new products such as the Mate 30. So what does this mean? Essentially, any new products that have come after the initial US ban cannot be saved. They will not be able to use Google services in any way. Previous products that came before the ban, for example, the current flagship phones, the P30 series from Huawei, will be fine and will continue to receive Google updates. But the new lineup, the Mate 30 series, cannot get them. So I can give you guys experience of how Huawei phones actually work inside of China without Google apps. So I live in China and I've bought Huawei phones before the ban and after the ban, and there are certainly huge differences in the way they work. Because all of those services are blocked in China anyway, the way that you use those phones in China is completely the same. You can't access Google, Facebook, and all of those other services in China. They are blocked by the network providers. But before the Google ban, Huawei phones, most of them anyway, did come with Google services installed. So that means if you went outside of China with that phone, you could go into the Huawei App Store, download the Google Play Store, and then from there download all of the normal apps that you would use. When you went back into China, because the network providers blocked the apps, you couldn't use them, but they were there and there were no problems with those apps. As soon as you went outside of China again, you could download updates and use them completely normally. However, after the ban, things changed. The phone started blocking all Google apps and Google services, and not just those apps. It seems like there was a physical block on opening anything that would link or be related to Google. So any apps that would link to the Google Play Store for information or database or services or anything would be blocked from opening on the phone. A lot of those apps you could still download from other app stores, but when they were on the phone and you pressed them, the screen would not open. It would open and then just go blank. It would go white and close off and shut down. So you could not work around the system. You could not download the apps from a different app store and then open them normally. Because Google's services were blocked on the phone, all of the apps that rely on the Google Play Store and Google services were completely unusable. So for me in China and other Chinese consumers, that is not a problem at all. Those apps are blocked anyway in China, and there are corresponding mainland China apps that everybody uses in China. So for Chinese consumers, there's really no difference. But for everyone outside of China, even if you don't think you use Google that much, you do rely on Google services when you use an Android phone. So Google has confirmed to these news agencies that they will not be able to support the Mate 30 series. Huawei will still be able to use the Android operating system on their phones because it's open source, but you won't be able to get Google services or Google apps on those phones. So what about Harmony OS? Something that a lot of people have tipped as a replacement to Android on those phones. Huawei themselves have said that Harmony OS is an absolute last resort to put on their phones. And anyway, wouldn't really solve the problem because Huawei's App Store is not fully ready to support the whole raft of apps that you would need outside of mainland China. So going forward, keep your eyes peeled on news between Google and Huawei and see if Huawei do somehow come up with some sort of solution for this. If Huawei phones can't use Google services and the Google Play Store going forward, maybe Huawei will fully support apps through the Huawei App Gallery. That may be a workable solution to this problem, to mean that you guys outside of China can actually get apps and use the phone normally. But for sure, sales of this device are going to take a huge hit to what Huawei was hoping for before the ban. Anyway, subscribe if you want to see the latest news on this subject. I will keep you guys updated at every turn. But that's it for now, and I will see you in the next one.